The Barney Miller Theme, Season 3. All the seasons have that wicked cool bass line, but Season 3 to me has the coolest guitar lines. And it also has some really cool horn lines that we're going to adapt for the guitar. The Barney Miller Theme, Season 3. We're going to break down and figure it all out. That's what we're doing today on Ray Plays Guitar, and I'm going to do it as simply as possible. Let's get into it. Barney Miller was a show, it was on between 1975 and 1982, I believe. This was at a time when TV shows had themes. Yeah, and this was one of the most iconic ones. I mean, come on. It has this bass line. Let's dive right on in. And we're going to take a look at that bass line. Starts on an F. Then it does this chromatic move from G to A. Then it does another chromatic move from B flat to C. So far. Then we have a string of notes. Before we start it all over again. We're going to go from C to E flat back to C. Continuing down to B flat, A, then jumping up to F, hitting an open D, and then this C. So 3, 4, 1. Now what's really going on here is on the strong beats, on beats 1 and 3, we're just hitting the chord tones of an F dominant chord. 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and a 3. So we're hitting a root on beat 1, and then the third on beat 3, then the fifth on beat 1 again, and then the flatted 7th on beat 3 on all the strong beats. 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and a 3E and a 4E and a... So that's that cool bass intro right there. And then the electric piano comes in with a... something like that. Now what I'm doing on the guitar here is just hitting an E7 sharp 9 chord, also known as the Hendrix chord.
I'm digging it myself.
I'm going to slide that up a half step or 1 fret into an F7 chord, which is no longer a Hendrix chord.
It's all right. This is part of life.
I guess we're going to call it the Barney Miller chord. Hendrix chord, Barney Miller chord, Hendrix Miller. And then I finish it off with just these 3 notes. I'm hitting like, I'll go backwards, F, C, and a G. Thinking of F as the root, 5th, and then a 9. So under the guitar lead, it kind of just vamps on that F7 sharp 9 chord, which is an interesting chord because we have a major third present as well as a sharp 9, which is also a flatted third. So it's a major and a minor all in one. But it's kind of funny. It sounds really cool like this, but it kind of has more, to me, more of a minor tinge, a minor bend to it, because that flatted third or that sharp 9 is the highest tone. So it sounds a little bit more minor to me. Now, if we switch the major and minor thirds around, not only does this chord, it's the exact same chord, just a different voicing. The dissonance is much more prevalent. Here the dissonance seems to be a little more palatable. But anyway, but with the presence of the major and the minor third, that's how we can kind of get away with playing the major and the minor pentatonic kind of together. And that's what's happening in this lead. In fact, a lot of times this happens whenever we're playing over a dominant 7 chord. We can kind of get away with this. So the first guitar lick we have is this. This is our target F. This is what we're going to resolve to. We're going to start here on the 11th fret of the 5th string, on the flatted third, hammer on to the 12th fret, to the major third, then doing another hammer on the next string, 10 to 12, ending on this F on the 10th fret of the 3rd string. Very classic sort of lick. We could play it down here, if you prefer. Or you could play it down here. Oops. That one kind of outlines this F triad. This one kind of outlines this F triad. And this kind of outlines that F triad. So, I play it up here. Then it continues with, we're kind of in this F major pentatonic position. This is the next lick right here, starting on the 12th fret of the 3rd string. I'm going to bend that up just ever so slightly. Give it a lazy bend up and then bring it back down to G. Going to 10. Back to 12 of 4. Then bend 12 of 3 up again. Ending on F. Now, all of those notes are pickup notes. This note falls on the downbeat. So it's like a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a... Next lick. Kind of leaning more into a F minor pentatonic here. Now I play it here. Still anchoring off of this F right here on the 10th fret of the 3rd string. But I'm grabbing the flatted 3rd here on the 9th fret of the 2nd string. And then grabbing this 4th on the 11th fret of the 2nd string. That's the lick. Giving that flatted 3rd a little bend. The next lick is a pretty long phrase. That first move, playing it here in this F minor pentatonic position, starting on the 15th fret of the 3rd string, with a full bend, kind of doing a double bend there, bending it up, bringing it down, bending it up again. I'm using all 3 fingers on that string to help facilitate that bend. Got all 3 fingers pushing up. Then I'm going to go to the 13th fret of that 3rd string. It's the flatted 3rd. I'm just going to bend it slightly, doing a little lazy bend or bluesy bend. Ending on this F here, 15th fret of the 4th string. Going to play that twice, then go back to that flatted 3rd. Then play this B flat, 15 of 3, twice. Then hammer on 13 to 15 of 2, leading you to F, 13 of 1. Then, going back to this 15 of 2, then we're going to bend up on the 15th fret of the 1st string. Going to hit this F twice, go back to this D, 15 of 2, hit the F again. Then we're going to hit this flatted 3rd, 16 of 1, going to 18 of 1 with a bend. Then we're going to hit the 16 twice, but I'm going to kind of bend it a little bit on that second one to give it a slightly different timbre. Then hitting F down here on 18 of 2. We're going to do this move. Followed by that. Twice on 16 of 1 to 18 of 2, back to 16 of 1, then 18, 16 of 2, then 18 of 2, grabbing the 5th here on 17 of 3, ending with a bend with my first finger, believe it or not, starting on the 16th fret, on the 16th fret of that second string. Gonna bend that up a full bend. I never liked doing bends with my first finger. Until I watched his B.B. King video the other day, and he was bending with his first finger, and then all of a sudden after I watched that, I had no problem bending with my first finger. Weird. Thanks, BB! All right, now this next part, this is when the drums go into a kind of a double time thing. And the chords go between this F7 sharp 9 and a, what is this, a B flat 7? Which I'm playing like this. I'm just grabbing these three notes, a root, a third, 7. Sometimes I'll grab the 9 over here. So we got a... So we got that kind of a thing going on here. This is where the horns take over the melody. So the first phrase of this horn line starts off on an F, and it basically just outlines an F major chord. We're going from 15 of 4, hitting F, the root, going to A, the third, 14 of 3, then hitting the 5th scale degree, this note C, on 13 of 2. Then you're going to go up and grab 15 of 2, and then go back to this note C. Then, so we're basically hitting a root, third, 5th, 6th, and back to the 5th. Now this move is kind of cool. We're hitting a flatted third here to a 9 or the second, root, 6th, back to the root. And then it goes right into a... So this part, we're basically going to be playing F minor pentatonic. We're starting on this F, jumping up an octave, and then playing down an F minor pentatonic scale. Hitting this F, a flatted 7th, and then returning back to the root. Now, interestingly enough, this whole horn part is a mix of major and minor pentatonic, just like the guitar part. But in the horn part, they're a little bit more, what's the word? They're a little bit more, they're a little bit more methodical about it. See, when they're playing an ascending line, when the notes are going up, they'll play an F major pentatonic scale. But when you're playing a descending line, where the notes get lower, they'll play an F minor pentatonic scale.
No way.
Notice. When we're going up, the notes were ascending, we played this major. We played the major third, and the rest of the notes are notes of the major pentatonic scale. But then we play this part, where we're coming back down, we hit this flatted third. Now this whole part, we're jumping an octave and then going down. So we play a minor pentatonic scale. So they do that twice. Then they play this line, which is the same line as the opening guitar line. And notice, we're playing an ascending line and we're hitting that major third on the way up. Now we're starting on this flatted third on the 13th fret of the 3rd string, then hammering on to the 14th fret of 3, then going to 13 of 2, hammering on to 15 of 2, and then winding up at this F, which is our root. Then we just repeat those 2 notes, then we play those 2 notes again, followed by this F. And that leads us into this next section. This is where we go to this other chord. This is a A flat 7 chord. Now over this chord, we're basically playing these 4 notes, which are the 3rd, 5th, 6th, and flatted 7th of A flat. So this part starts off right when we hit that A flat 7 chord. We're doing a half step bend on the 13th fret of the 1st string. Bring that back down. And then play 11, 13, 11. The next phrase is similar. We're going to play these pickup notes. 13 of 2, 11 of 1, 13 of 1. Followed by a then so it's all those notes right there. I'll play it again slowly. 3E and a 4E and a. Then the last phrase is these pickup notes leading us back to F. Starting on 13 of 2, C, going to 11 of 1, then 12, and then landing on F here on the 13th fret of the 1st string. Now you can hit that note by itself. Sometimes I like to hit the C along with it, so I'm hitting first 2 strings on the 13th fret there. So here's the whole thing slowed down. Well, that's the Barney Miller Theme Season 3 in a nutshell. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, share this video with your friends, subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit that notification bell, but most of all, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. We'll see you next time.